Hello and welcome to a new episode of RUSE Tales from the Battlefield. And I'm Swift, and Lagmaster, he's in the game, is with us today.
Hi.
Yeah, epic pause there, dramatic pause. Now, it's a Russian mirror match on Blitz, which is very interesting because Blitz has so many of these little towns and forests that infantry can be very, very useful on this map. And recon range often gets disrupted. Sorry, I just had to go offline in Steam here. Brown was gonna commentate with us, but he was unavailable. So it's
As
just
always.
Lagmaster.
He was probably admin building. But,
Yeah, inside joke. You won't get it. Just ignore him. Anyway,
one thing to mention about this game is it's a very good map for rushing people because it's really easy to skip the distance between two bases, which are very close. It's actually almost a long-range RT distance. The
exactly.
Pushka
Yeah.
distance, for example, and it's also very broad to sides, so you can attack opponents from flanks, which are very large. As you can see, like on two sides of the river that goes through the map.
Okay. Well. Yeah. It's also the setting for our last video. Operation Enzio. Okay. Unless there's anything else to say, and for me to stop zooming in and out, is there... Can we go?
Yeah, I think we can just commentate as we go.
Yep, that's what we do. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay,
So at the beginning, I should explain that I was expecting a rush, especially since you can see that he didn't camo, and his first base is barracks, and loads of tracks are springing to right and left. So I was actually gonna have some fun and do something a bit less orthodox.
You've used a double blitz, which is interesting.
I actually like doing that recently. I'm building depots to sites and building bases on sites as well, so it's a bit easier for me to cover those two depots
I've done that
instead
on
of that
this map
depot in
as
front
well.
of the base.
Exactly, it's actually, yeah, what I used to, if I was building bases, I would either build them actually in my base next to my HQ, or I'd build them here beside this forward depot, but yeah, I've taken to doing this thing as well. It's actually good.
So as you
Triple
can
X.
see, I was just building barracks to get my recon, and I'm spawning the light tanks, which are actually quite awesome against Russian infantry rushes.
Yeah, so these are real tanks. I mean, real barracks. So there's no decoy ruses in play. So the Guardia is dangerous, though. There's that much to be said about it. Look, it's probably gonna kill this T-26 if it can't get out of there
Yeah, I
fast
wasn't
enough.
not paying much attention to those tanks, which is very sad. As the game would probably be a bit quicker if I would pay a bit more attention.
Oh, he's
For
blitzed that
example,
barracks
the mistake that
on
I
the
was
right.
making here is that I was putting too much force into defeating small units. There was like two tanks, or three tanks necessary to stop those infantry and kill the barracks, while the others could just went straight into his base and start disrupting his supply line.
Yeah, against an infantry rusher, tanks like this, I think, are especially the Russian ones, because they're fast and they do damage. I think and they only cost 10, so it really is damaging, to say the least. Triple X captured that supply depot. Is he confident he can hold that? I don't know. It must have been a mistake.
That could be misclick.
Meanwhile, you're in his base, and the Guardia is not to be underestimated against tanks, but you must not have been managing those at all, because they're all dead.
Yep, you're quite correct. I was a bit maybe too confident that I already won, because I was in his base, I was covering,
Yeah.
and pretty much I failed that, which is quite bad. So always manage your tanks next to the any infantry bases or towns, so they don't pop out of the base and kill your stuff instantly.
Yeah. On the right, even though he's captured that supply depot, you're cutting it off with T26, so he's not going to get any money out of that, which is
Although
good.
I should have like 2 or 3 tanks maybe in my base, and the rest just should straight go at his base, because he has nothing really to counter my tanks. On Blitz I can pretty much like escape all of them not straight, but kite the infantry. But as you can see, I'm losing more tanks again.
Yeah, it definitely is harder than it would seem to kill that infantry. It just doesn't die sometimes. There's this. Did you see this Guardia on the left, close to your base? It's just
Oh yeah, I saw it from
running
miles
around
away,
there.
and I already have recon and 2 tanks on it, which is again too much. 1 recon would probably do. Um, Never
Here goes a
underestimate
base.
any infantry, because if you run out of RUSEs and they will catch you without them, they could just blitz into your stuff and kill it, especially on like units that have quite short range, like those little tanks. T26 is it?
And he's gone for the armor base, which is very strange. I would have gone for the AT base, because you've already got an armor base, but I suppose if he gets even one
He
KV1 out,
saw that I
it's...
have only light tanks, and it's more verticalized, yeah, to build tanks, because they can kill
versatile.
stuff. Verticalized, yeah, sorry, my bad.
Versatile. Anyway, yeah, but I don't know. I would have gone for the AT base. My thinking behind it is that it nullifies your armor base. Like SE100s have killed IS2s, I think. But yeah, that KV1's just dealt the damage, and that's a lot of dead T26s. Oh, and
Yeah, I was very disappointed with my micro there. But just plain laziness, like just not paying attention, just trying to, attack infantry and leave it alone, let it do its thing. We're not living in a perfect world. The tanks will just charge mindlessly into infantry. So you have to manage that. That's a lesson for you there. So I'm in a bit of trouble now, even though I got like his buildings, his depot, he's still running on 2 depots, and I'm running, yeah, on 2 now as well.
yeah, that was a mistake. You recaptured that, and then I think it was the splash damage from the tanks that finished the depot off. I didn't check, but it looks like it might have been. That's a problem with killing infantry that's killing depots with tanks, if that makes sense, because the high the what are they called? Yeah, caliber shells, like small caliber or large caliber, whatever, do have a splash damage.
So right now I was like feeling a bit safe, because like as you can see I have a bit more point advantage. So it means I killed more of his stuff, and
And his
I
depots on the
decided to
left
raid
are...
his. Yeah, I decided to raid his depots. I wasn't sure about going through the woods, but even though T26s can shoot across the river, and you can see that
Yeah,
it's sometimes
exactly.
better to just kill that depot and let off the other one, because for tanks it's quite dangerous. And pro tip in here is that you have to actually push them to the river and let them stay there, and they will shoot
With
automatically.
auto
Because
fire
like
on buildings
attack,
on. Yeah,
yeah, they will try to actually get across the town, and so
yeah, exactly.
just place them next to it.
Question, of course, is will you get out of there from the KB1? How far is the range?
For me it
400,
is,
so...
yeah, for me it is still like worth it, because I cut his depot supply line. Um, he would have to rebuild it. Maybe I could catch the truck that will be going for it. Plus, I still made like a. Even if he gets the recon, it's still $5 profit.
Yeah.
Plus all of the money that isn't going towards his base right now. And
There's
again,
another
the
pushing his
KV-1s are
base.
super slow, which means that he has to travel all the way back to counter my other rush. Back with the little tanks and KV-1.
Yeah, they're slower than infantry, which actually infantry isn't that slow, but yeah, to give you an idea how slow they are. They're slower than the Russian recon. That's how slow they are. Did you see the truck going through the forest on the left of your base?
No, I
Did you
didn't see
know
that.
that was there? So that's probably a barracks, okay. So,
That's a surprise for later, especially for me.
later. T-34s, which are
I
interesting
think that
because,
was actually a quite brilliant move. Although it cost 50, and so as you can see, I
yeah.
spent that money
Ooh, bomber,
on.
perfect. It's not firing, is it? Oh, there you go.
T-26s are quite fast when you compare them to and quite sturdy tanks.
Yeah,
So
T-34s
they're
aren't
actually
particularly fast. Uh,
for Russian standards.
yeah, I mean, the IS-2s are faster. I mean, I
Oh
would
yeah, but
usually
those
go
cost
for
only 20
IS-2s.
apiece, and yeah, IS-2 is
75 resources on that.
only. Yeah, 75 research. That is quite a big leap. You actually need to be safe
Yeah.
to do it.
So here's
And
this
so I just
barracks
noticed
now.
that he was building something in my base, and I was like, oh, what is that? Lucky for me, I
And
got that
then,
armor base. I was building that armor base because of those tanks. So actually, if he wouldn't push that KV-1, I wouldn't build that tank base, and he would win.
yeah. But the KB-1's also putting you under pressure because it's firing at your tanks, killing the infantry. But you've held it off. You did lose a depot, but it's not as bad as it could have been, is it?
And I lose bomber, which was a very big pain because I was hoping that I wouldn't have to spend anything else and could just start raiding depots and making him